Por eso la diferencia debiera ser más amplia.
Ahí va Cuauhtémoc por el tercero. Para Luis. ¡Gol!
That's right, guys. Had an awesome interview today. That's right. His name is Pere Margalef. He is a biker. He is a motorcyclist. He is originally from Barcelona, Spain, and that's my little tribute. It was an awesome interview. He is trying to help the biker community, trying to make us safer with the Biker Shield app. We get down and dirty. You guys better hang on for this one. We had a badass interview. Hey, Bikeaholics and listeners alike, the show is still going strong because of a lot of hard work and your support, of course. Thanks to all those loyal listeners and true friends of the show that have supported us or are supporting us. For less than a coffee a month, you can help support us too and put a little fuel in the law-abiding biker gas tank to make sure this show keeps moving on down the road. So, calling all law-abiding bikers, head over to our Patreon page and take action today. You can do so at lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon, Patreon. Oh, did I mention there's benefits too? From all your friends at lawabidingbiker.com, we appreciate each and every one of you. God bless and ride safe. Oh yeah, Bikeaholics. That is right. Welcome back, all you freaking Bikeaholics. This is the podcast for the Big MM, the motorcycle majority, also known as the 99%. That's right. Know that. That's right. If you're a listener, just know we are large and in charge. That's right, you too, of the motorcycle scene. More so than any other time in history, guys, because you all know it is a biker revolution, bitches. All right, guys, I do have one quick question before we get started. What are you waiting for, Bikeaholics? Mount up. Let me take you on another wild-ass ride, huh? All right, guys, Ryan Erlacher here with Law Abiding Biker Podcast. Of course, your host of such, and in the studio alone right now. But I had an awesome interview that we're going to get into in a moment. You probably heard in the opener there. Real quick, guys, just some real quick news and stuff and what's going on here at Lab Media and some things coming up. All right, real quick, I do want to thank an individual personally, and that is one Chris, I think it's Lizak, and I'm going to learn, or Lizak, but he is Chris is from Ashland, Wisconsin. That's right. You guys want to know why I'm thanking him? That's right, because he took action, guys. He is our newest patron, and I want to thank him so much. He took action. That's right. He went to lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon, Patreon. He is pledging a certain amount per piece of content. You guys can too. It helps put fuel in the law-abiding biker gas tank so we can keep heading on down the road with this thing. Keep bringing you guys the videos and the podcasts and all the content, guys. Also, Chris is he's going to meet us in Sturgis. We have the private Sturgis meetup, guys. Don't forget that. And that is coming up. It's for patrons only. And it's a private meetup on Monday, August 3rd, 2015 at 6:30 p.m. in an undisclosed location in Rapid City, South Dakota. We will get the word to those patrons, of course. And we want to meet you guys, and he is going to be there. Just let me know. So if you guys are patrons already, or you're becoming patrons in the very near future, you need to email me, Ryan at lawabidingbiker.com, and let me know. Subject it, patron, Sturgis meetup, get my attention, and let me know that you're coming. I really need to know. That's 6 of us so far. And again, it's going to be at a private residence dinner. We're going to chill and have some Frosties and whatnot and eat some good food and just really get to know each other. Again, that's for patrons only, but don't forget, we also have a regular listener and YouTube viewer meetup the very next day. And it's going to be Tuesday, August 4th, 8:30 a.m. in an undisclosed location in Rapid City, South Dakota. You must purchase a ticket for that, guys. And there are only 25. It's limited, guys, so that we can keep it safe and keep it real and a good time for everybody. It's going to be a 90-mile ride. It starts at 8:30. Again, we will give you the location if you purchase a ticket when it gets closer. But anyways, we're going to do that 90-mile ride. There's some giveaways, a meetup. We're going to have some time to meet and greet and all that kind of stuff. Again, that's the regular listener meetup. For details on that, for all the details, we did a full episode, podcast, everything. All the information is over at lawabidingbiker.com/Sturgis for that regular listener meetup on Tuesday, August 4th. And again, it is limited ticket sales, and I will close sales down anyways, regardless, about July 15th, just because there's going to be a lot of planning that goes into that. So just wanted to let you guys know that. And so today's episode, I'm going to get right into it, but I want to do, give you a little look into what we're going to, who I'm interviewing here and what he's all about. But his name is Pere Margalef, and he is originally from Barcelona, Spain. And you heard my little opener there, a little props, because you know what? The soccer, the football, it is huge over there. And man, I would love to visit Spain someday. Ride over there. That would be awesome. I know we have people in Spain listening. We have people all over the world. Bikeaholics, love all of you guys. And connecting and look at right here from the Law Abiding Biker studio, I can get on Skype, and I can literally, he's living in, Pere is living in Los Angeles now, about the last 10 years. He's a mechanical engineer. He's got a PhD, but that's his day job. I'm telling you this, guys, this is a passion project for him. Okay. He's making this app. He wants to keep it free for people. He wants to protect bikers. And if you guys remember, we did an episode, and it was episode 76, lawabidingbiker.com/76. All the show notes are there. It was Jake Justice was in here, and Chewy was in the studio with me. We broke this app down. We tested it. We did all kinds of stuff. And he heard our episode, which this is really cool because that shows you that this guy's a biker, man. He rides motorcycles. He even rides down in LA. I mean, and it's, it could be very dangerous in that traffic and stuff. So this guy's the real deal, man. And he got a hold of me, and he wanted to come on and talk to the law-abiding biker community to get the word out there and try to tell you guys what he's doing. And again, he's not making any money off this right now, guys. Of course he should someday. All the blood, sweat, and tears that he's putting in this, he's invested a lot of money. It's all about making bicyclists and motorcycles safer by, basically putting up this shield and alerting cars when bicycles or motorcycles are around. But it is a passion project for him, guys. It's totally on the side. He's, like I say, he's an engineer, I believe mechanical engineer on the side, or that's his full-time gig. But man, we break it down. You guys are going to get a lot of insight and where this app's going and how useful it could be if we all, latch onto it and help promote it, word of mouth marketing, all that stuff, guys. But anyways, like I say, it's a good interview. I think you're going to have a lot of fun. I think you're going to learn a lot more than we even gave in episode 76 where we just talked about it. But he said we were spot on a lot of stuff. And so this is kind of just a follow-up, and any questions that we weren't able to answer, he's going to be able to answer. And they're really, as they go forward, they're going to nail this app down, guys. I really believe that. Like we talked about, they put out a minimum viable product, get it out in the hands of everybody. Again, it's the Bike Shield app, and everything you need to know is over at the bikeshieldapp.com if you want resources. But this interview really is going to give you everything you need to know and about the app, and like I say, where they're going and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, with that said, guys, again, Pere Margalef, he lives in Los Angeles. He is the CEO of the Oh, that's a tongue twister. TDK company, I believe, is what it is. The TDG company. My bad. I got it in my notes here. TDG company. And again, it is the Bike Shield app. He is a biker, and I had a lot of fun with him. So let's listen in on that interview. So where are you originally from?
I'm from Barcelona. I'm from Catalonia.
Very cool. And what did you came here at some point? Obviously, you grew up there?
Yeah, I grew up there. And 10 years ago, I got this scholarship to come to UC Irvine. UC Irvine is south of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And there's a scholarship for Catalan engineers. I'm a mechanical engineer. And I got the scholarship to come and do my master's and my PhD. And I came here, I went through grad school, and I never went back. I mean, I go there quite often, actually, once a year, twice a year. But I just found my job here, and and my wife here, and obviously now the bike shield and all this. So I love it here.
When did you come here basically? How many years ago?
10 years ago.
10 years, and you came straight to LA, and you've been there ever since, Los Angeles?
Yep. Well, Orange County. I came to Orange County first, and which is where UC Irvine is. And then I spent 6 years in Orange County where I did my grad school. And then I moved to Los Angeles, where I live right now. I moved to Venice Beach. Then I went to Koreatown, then came back to the west side, tried to stay close to the beach. And that's where I'm right now, in the west side of LA.
Wow. And so you're obviously, we talked a little bit via email, you're obviously a motorcycle enthusiast, like obviously the law-abiding biker community here. You riding stuff?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I always ride motorcycles in Spain, but not More, have you been to Spain before?
I have not. We have connections to Spain. One of my sister-in-laws, but I haven't had the opportunity to go there yet.
You have to. But motorcycle is a very, very common mode of transportation in Spain for the city, right? I mean, there are more motorcycles than cars. If you go to Barcelona, if you go to Madrid, it's ridiculous. There's so many. So I always ride motorcycles in the city. I never had a big motorcycle per se to go riding. But when I came here, I got it, and I'm riding my beautiful Poderosa all over the place. It's just amazing.
That's very cool.
Yeah. I'm riding a vintage Yamaha 1978, an XS 750. And it's older than me, man. It's like 1 year older than me, and it's just so beautiful. And it's actually, I don't know if you've seen the videos of the bike shield, but there are a couple of videos in which I am with my motorcycle. It's a red vintage motorcycle.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't aware, but I've seen the video. Yeah,
that's me. It's all the video. It's all me, us, riding bicycles and motorcycles, and we made the videos and all that. We're very, very, very lucky. We have a very good video producer in the team, so we can do good productions.
You have a producer right on the team.
Yeah.
I figured you either hired that out or you had somebody, because it's very professionally done. It looks great.
Yeah, we're very lucky. We have a ton of footage. We spend a lot of hours filming ourselves in motorcycles, and we're just slowly making videos and using this footage. There's still more to come. So we're very fortunate.
So it's probably I'm thinking, okay, LA, you ride a motorcycle. I've ridden motorcycles last year, in fact, in California, in the San Francisco Bay Area. And so, dude, that can get pretty hairy on a motorcycle.
Down here,
yeah.
Yeah, man, and that's the whole thing, It's kind of dangerous to ride motorcycles here. There are more and more, I have to tell you, especially in the west side of LA. You can see all these vintage motorcycles. All the dudes now are driving these vintage motorcycles. There's like a movement, actually, but you can tell. I mean, it's can get hairy for sure. I haven't been in a crash yet, and I knocked on wood, but many times I've been close. And in fact, I think I explained it to you already, or on one of the videos, how I came out with the bike shield idea.
Yeah, why don't you tell us about that? You did, but I want to hear it, yeah.
Yeah, so I was riding my motorcycle. It wasn't a freeway, actually. And I was about to pass this guy, and when you're riding, you can look at the guy. You can see what he's doing, and you can kind of somehow okay, I'm here. But this guy wasn't paying attention, and I could tell that he wasn't paying attention. So he was about to change lane, and I saw it. And I'm lucky I saw it, so I basically moved, and he didn't hit me. And lucky enough, there wasn't no one coming on my left lane. But then after I passed the guy, I'm like, that guy actually was looking at his phone, right? Well, he was changing lanes, and that happens all the time here in California. Everyone spends so many hours in the car that people kind of desensitize. They don't care anymore. They just spend so much time in the car. So I thought, look, I have my phone in my pocket. He has his phone in his dashboard, and I know that I can make this to work. I know I can tell him before he can see me. I can just tell him that I'm here, 5 seconds or 10 seconds, right? Because through the algorithm that we have developed, we can actually set the distance that I want to tell the car driver that I'm around. I can do it like a mile if I want to. It goes to the server, compares GPS locations, and I send a warning at any distance that I want. If I go to the data server right now, and I set the distance to, let's say, 3,000 miles, I could send you a warning where you are right now if you have the app on. So basically now we have the 500 meters for motorcycles and cars, which is the distance that we've calculated that's enough. And for bicycles, it's a different distance. It's a smaller distance because bicycles are slower than motorcycles. So that's how everything came about. So like a year ago, I had this idea, and I put a team together, and we started working a year ago. We filed a patent, and here we are. We're doing a lot of progress. And I'll tell you about later. We're not doing as much progress as we want on the motorcycle community yet, and that's why I'm so glad you guys are testing it and are talking about it, and you're talking to me. But we're doing a lot of progress on the bicycle community.
That's awesome, man. Well, I'll tell you, when I found out about the app, I was super excited, and so we definitely are, a platform for you, and we're here to help and get it out to the, biker community and motorcycle community. Yeah, I did see it. Obviously, great use for bicycles, the same and all that. So you started the app, you got the idea for the app, and have you ever developed an app before, or was it all new to you?
It was all new to me.
Okay, so you must have had a team of guys. You sounds like you kind of have a team behind you. You got to have some coders and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. I invested my money. I had savings, so I put my money on it. Of course, I wasn't able to pay all the coders and everyone. I couldn't pay them like at a regular salary, but I gave them equity of the company. And that's how we are all working right now. We're not getting money right now. But we're all working on shares of the company. We're all co-founders, and everyone is either a cyclist or a motorcyclist. Actually, I'm the one who rides motorcycles the most. They're all cyclists. But yeah, we're all enthusiasts about cycling or motorcycling, and everyone is super excited. So that's how everything started. And as I said, I can tell you now the strategy that we are implementing to get users amongst the car drivers, and I think that's going to blow your mind.
Oh, please do. That's awesome. Yeah, let's roll with that.
Yeah, so basically, everyone, when you talk about the bike shield, the first comment, besides the problems with the battery that we're working on, it's just a technical problem that has a solution, obviously. Everyone is saying, well, how are you going to get the car drivers to use the bike shield, right? What's the incentive? Well, what we need is bicycles and motorcycles to use the app first, right? So we can go to car drivers and say, hey, these people are using it. But it's the same in the opposite way. It's a chicken and egg problem. So what we're doing right now is we're partnering with two type of companies. We're partnering with bike share programs, these bicycle share programs that are all over the place. Like in the cities of Seattle, I'm sure that they have a bike share programs where they have bicycle stations where you can drop a bicycle and then you have a cart and then you take the bicycle and go to work and drop the bicycle in the other station. Have you seen that?
We don't have it here, and I'm glad you explained that, because there are a lot of big cities have it. We have listeners all over the world, of course. So yeah, I know. Bike, yeah. So the bikes are free as a city. Is it a city provided service most of the time that you share? Or?
People pay a membership. Let's say in New York City, they pay, I think, $150 a month. Sorry, a year, $150 a year. And then they have unlimited access to these bicycles that are all over Manhattan. It's not your bicycle. It's a bicycle that belongs to the program or the city. You take the bicycle, you go to your destination, drop the bicycle in this other station that's going to be next to your destination, right? So you don't have to carry your own bicycle. You don't have to worry about if someone steals your bicycle, and so on, right? So these people, these bicycles, actually this bike share programs business is the fastest growing business in transportation in the world today. There are 800 cities in the world that have bike share programs. It's crazy. It's growing exponentially. Now, all these programs have their own app. Because you, as a user, you can take that app of the bike share program, and you can locate where is the station closest to you, how many bicycles are available. You can pay your membership through the app, and so on, right? Now, what we're doing is we have developed the Bike Shield API, which is basically a little piece of code in which if they implement or embed that piece of code to their own code in their own app, we're basically enabling the Bike Shield through their app.
And so you've opened that up, the API,
yes,
right?
So the user of that bike share, without having to download the Bike Shield, which is already available and all this, without having to download the Bike Shield, basically we install a button in those apps of the bike shares, and that basically when you activate it, when you turn the Bike Shield on, it's a button, you turn it on, and it acts and behaves exactly the same way as the Bike Shield. It becomes a user of mine. It becomes a Bike Shield user. GPS location goes to our server, and then we send signals to car drivers around that user as well. So the benefit of that is that, for instance, New York has 100,000 users of that program. So without us having to go to these 100,000 bicyclists, we already have 100,000 bicyclists if New York decides to install the Bike Shield, which they haven't decided yet. Today we have actually 2 cities in Mexico that did this at. Mexico City, which is the largest bike share program in the world, or one of the largest. They have 200,000 users, and they are now implementing it, which is awesome because Mexico City is incredible. And Guadalajara, also Mexico, they also have a bike share program, and they also have their own app, and they are implementing it already. Now, that's from the bike side, which is going to give us users and which is going to make us people know about the Bike Shield. Now, what's happening from the car side, since we have already a significant amount of users from the bicycle side, what we're doing is we're partnering with taxi companies and car service companies. Let's say, you know these apps actually that you can call a taxi from the app. I'm not talking about Uber or Lyft, all this. I don't know if you have Uber in there.
I'm very familiar with it. Yeah, we don't have it particularly here, but I'm very familiar with all that. Yeah.
Yeah, so we haven't talked to Uber. Uber now is like super, super hot, and it's really impossible to talk to these guys. But there are companies that you can download the app. For instance, Easy Taxi or Safer Taxi or Flywheel, all these companies, they have their own app. And you can, if you want a taxi, you download the app and you say, hey, I need a taxi right now here. You click, the taxi driver comes. The taxi driver, they have their phone in their dashboard, and they are looking at their phone constantly just to see if there is any user, right, that needs a taxi. Now, we're talking with these companies, and they love it. And we already got 2 companies actually, that they will have the Bike Shield taxi. We have developed the Bike Shield taxi in all their taxi drivers.
Wow.
Okay? Yeah. So that's not happening in the US yet, unfortunately. The US is hard market for that. We're, again, Mexico City and Santiago de Chile. Those are like the 2 cities that are responding really, really well to the bike shield. I don't know if because there is more accidents, more fatalities. I don't know because they are more bike friendly or more progressive. I don't know, but I'm just telling you that the response we're getting from these two cities is incredible. Now, the next step, once we have this, which we are on it, is to talk with insurance companies. Imagine that you have Gecko or Progressive or something, and they tell you, hey, Ryan, they send you a letter and say, hey, we are concerned about bikers. And if you download this app, which we can tailor the app for themselves, we can do the Bike Shield Gecko, right? If you download the Bike Shield Gecko, this is a link, and you use it, we can give you a discount on your insurance. They do stuff like that. They can measure how fast you drive and how well you drive, and they give you discounts if you're a good driver, right?
Mm-hmm,
Now, we can do the same for the bike, for the Bike Shield, right? This afternoon, we have a meeting with one of the largest insurance companies in Mexico City, and they are very interested. They know that we'll have very soon about 200,000 cyclists in the city. So they see an opportunity to save money, obviously, because there will be less accidents, and to have a very good PR, right? Because all of a sudden, this insurance company worries about bikers and cyclists. And they incentivize you as a driver to be responsible and to use this, right? So that's the other strategy. Now, final strategy, which we're already working on, but that's going to take more time, is what if we can implement the Bike Shield in all the new cars that are being manufactured today or it's going to be manufactured in the future. As you know, all the cars have infotainment systems. They can read low energy Bluetooth. They can read the signal from phones. They can have direct communication. So we already have talked with Honda. We've been a couple of times in Honda Silicon Valley. They have a developer studio in which they invite developers like us, and they say, okay, show us what you got. And we've been there a couple of times showing them the Bike Shield, and they love it. They love it because we've been testing it in the Android Auto platform that they're testing it in there, in that development, in that studio. And they liked it so much, they even took it for an internal demonstration to Japan. They want to show it to Japan, that they're working on stuff like that. By no means, I'm not saying that Honda is going to acquire this or going to buy this. That's not going to happen. In fact, we don't want this to happen because we don't want to be exclusive to anyone else. I mean, to anyone in particular. Otherwise, it defeats the purpose. It has to be for everyone and everyone, right? It has to be in every car, not just Honda, not just Volvo, not just Jaguar. But it's really cool that they are looking at it and they are helping us out. In fact, they have a team of engineers that they are saying, you know what, we're going to help you out and we're going to make this work for you guys. That's the service they offer. So you were completely right on your podcast the other day. You were saying that this is an MVP. You're completely right. We were testing the market. We were seeing the reaction, and we've seen that people want something like this. Absolutely, not just the bikers or the cyclists. I think that car drivers, they also want something like this if it works well and it's not annoying and it doesn't drain their battery and so on. But we'll get there, right? This is just what we're doing with limited resources and with a lot of love and passion, honestly. So,
absolutely, and you're referring to episode 76 that we did, and I'm super glad that you got back with us. And I really wanted to talk to you and get the lowdown on this. But yeah, so minimum viable product, you get it out. That has to be passionate. People don't understand these startups and doing stuff like this is, eventually, yes, it should make money for all the hours and stress and dedication that goes into doing so. I can't even imagine behind the scenes and what you guys are doing. So eventually it does need to, but right now it is a passion project for the most part.
Absolutely. It's a passion project. And we're not, I mean, yes, of course we want to make money and live of it and all that, but we're not after the money. Really. I mean, we really want to save lives. And I think money will come if we do a good thing and if we do the right thing and if we do it right. And I'd rather have something that's extremely popular and that saves lives than making money. And I really mean it. I went to Silicon Valley for a couple of meetings with angel investors, and I hope I don't get anyone offended, but there's so much crap in there. I mean, people are trying to do anything. It doesn't matter. You can take the most ridiculous apps. As soon as they can make money of it, they will go and they will spend their time, they will spend their talent, they will spend their money doing this because they will make a lot of money in a very short time. Okay, I don't want to be part of this, to be honest. I'm going beyond that. I'm not gonna spend my time and talent and energy and money on something just to make money. I really want to make a difference. And all my team, we're feeling all the same. And we all have jobs during the day, and we combine as we can, and we don't sleep much. For the last year, we haven't slept much, but we have a major goal in there, and that's what we're pursuing. And that's really what keeps us going, because being in a startup, it's a lot of up and downs, and it's a roller coaster, literally. And when you are down, you just think, okay, think of your vision, think of your goal, think of your mission, and then it's like, okay, let's keep going. So that's what keeps us going.
Oh man, that's inspiring. I know. Yeah, the hurdles and the walls that come in front of you, even doing it on this end, but you keep moving forward for you're doing a good thing and want to make a difference, then doesn't come without stresses. Now, were you aware, and I'm sure you are, I'm just throwing it out there, and I talked a little bit about it on episode 76, but I have a Harley Davidson. That's the bike I ride right now, and it's a 2014, and we talked about the infotainment system. It comes, 2014 touring Harleys and on come with an integrated boom box infotainment system. And in fact, I sell tutorial videos on how to utilize that thing. And a lot of people get those videos from me. But yeah, so I'm passionate and excited about this app, and I see the possibilities, and you guys are going about it in an awesome way. I know it's going to take time, but yeah, that Harley Davidson boombox, I don't know if you guys have reached to them, or it would, because it's already on a motorcycle. That could be exactly what you're saying, is they could build it right into that boombox infotainment system. How cool would that be?
That could be incredible. No, we haven't contacted Harley Davidson, and if someone reaches out to wants to reach out to us from Harley Davidson, I don't know, they will. I'm not sure they will, but that could be amazing. But if you, by no means, if you have any way to put us in contact with them, that would be amazing to talk to them. As I said, we talked with Honda, which are huge on motorcycles, as you know.
Yeah, right.
And that's why I think they were so interested, or they are so interested. We also have some contacts with Yamaha, but we haven't exploited them yet. But that's going to come soon. We, in fact, talk with some infotainment system companies, but from the car side. There are 13, 14 in the world. We talk with a couple, and they're like, well, that's really cool. Let's look at this. So I think this week we have another meeting, like the second meeting with one of these companies. But I haven't talked with Harley. That would be amazing.
Yeah, and it's catching up in the motorcycle industry, but Harley is, as far as that goes, as far as the boombox, this completely integrated GPS, Bluetooth. I play my music wirelessly. It's just like you see in a car. It's actually a boombox infotainment system, touch screen. They're leading right now in that, and unfortunately, the other motorcycle manufacturers they're all going to catch up. As Harley's doing it, they were just the first ones to to do that kind of system outside of a car and put it on a motorcycle. So I can see great things once those are on motorcycles and they're in cars. I mean, these things talking back and forth would be just amazing.
Yeah, it could be amazing. Right now I think once we settle in these two cities that I was telling you, Mexico City and
that's huge.
And Santiago de Chile. Yeah, in fact, we're also involving a couple of universities, like transportation departments, like civil engineering, to test the impact of the bike shield in those cities. And for a year, we'll be studying the impact, right? And once we have these reports coming from very prestigious universities, including UCLA, I'm sure that we'll have much more leverage, and I'm sure that we'll have some competition. Right now, there is no one doing anything like that. Well, there is someone, but not specifically from the phone like we do. But I'm sure that they will come soon, and that's gonna be even more fun. Which if someone comes out with a solution that works better and they have more resources, by no means, go for it. I want to ride safe. That's my goal. But it's a roller coaster and it's a race and it's a lot of fun at the same time.
So let's talk about you have this. I was reading too. I'm just looking at your website. You have it on city. I mean, you're doing the taxi stuff. You're doing city buses too, right?
Yeah. So we have developed the bike shield bus, which is specifically for bus drivers. And the first city that's looking into it, or the first two cities, are Guadalajara in Mexico and Mexico City. Now, I try to talk to the bus people in Los Angeles and Santa Monica, and they are busy doing other stuff. Although buses are a huge problem for bikers and cyclists. We are all, especially cyclists, we're all sharing the same part of the road, right? When they have to go through their bus stations, they invade the bike lane, if there is a bike lane, and bicycles are so tiny compared to bus drivers, and the blind spot is huge, and there is a well-known problem between cyclists and bus drivers. So we have created the bike shield bus, and we are, as I said, Mexico City and Guadalajara, they are all over it, and they are looking into it and see how they can implement it in their buses. And here in California, it hasn't happened yet. Hopefully, we will get that soon. We're not that focused in here right now. We're more focused in those cities. Because the thing about the bike shield is that you need density of usage, right?
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if you have 10,000 people and they are all scattered. You really need to have density of usage to make it work. If you think about it, it's like Uber. We were talking about Uber before. When they released Uber a few years ago, they start only in San Francisco. They didn't want to have, 1,000 users in Spain and 1,000 users in San Francisco and 2,000 users in Mexico. That's not useful, right? Because if you're in Barcelona and there are no car drivers and you want a car, that's useless. You have to be in a dense area. So right now, as I said, we have to focus on these two cities, or three cities, Mexico, Santiago, and Guadalajara. Once we have density of usage, we'll have the reports from the universities, and then that's going to give us a lot of strength to go to the bus systems in Santa Monica and say, look, you don't want to get behind. There is a solution here that's going to cost you very little money, and you can save a lot of lives, and you can save a lot of trauma. So we will get there.
Absolutely.
And in the meantime, we're improving, right? We're talking. I don't know if you mentioned that, or if you read that in one of my emails. I think that you saw that in one of my emails, that we're developing right now version 3.0.
Yes.
Which is basically helping or work. It's basically solving the battery issue because it's true. I mean, it drains the battery. So we found a couple of solutions for that. It's not take any battery at all, or very, very minimum battery. So stay tuned for version 3.0. That's gonna come up soon.
That's awesome. Yeah. And like we said, for the community, we expected that. Like we said, it's an MVP. You need to get it at least started. Then you can figure out what the little issues are, if there are issues, and then you can build on that based on feedback, and so real quick, guys, we'll get right back into the interview. If you need a cell phone or GPS motorcycle mounting solution, guys, get the Biker Gripper. That's right. It is the sexiest, sleekest, strongest cell phone and GPS motorcycle mount on the market. I guarantee it, guys. You can use it to mount cell phones, GPS, radar detectors, EFI tuners, toll transponders, all that kind of stuff, guys. It is tried and tested by the law-abiding biker crew. We all use it. We tested it for over a year and a half. We like it. We trust it. We recommend it to you so much that we put our stamp of approval on it. It has our very own logo, guys. It's badass looking, man. It is the Biker Gripper cell phone motorcycle mount. Mounts on your handlebars, your control cluster. There's a couple different models, guys. We now have it available exclusively in the Law Abiding Biker store just for you guys. And again, you can choose from several different models. If you head over to lawabidingbiker.com/bikergripper, there's videos over there. There's information. I wrote it all up. There's links directly to the store on how to get it, all that kind of stuff. Again, lawabidingbiker.com/bikergripper. We leave nothing to chance. You'll completely understand which model you need and what that thing's all about if you head over there. All right, guys, appreciate it. Of course, any sales that we make, we make some money off those things, guys. We can keep putting it back in the lab fuel tank to keep heading on down the road. All right, hope you're enjoying the interview. Let's rock and roll and get right back into it.
And let me comment on this battery issue. The reason why it's draining battery is because we added this feature in which it's called the automatic activation, right? You've seen that.
I did, and I read about it, yeah.
In the settings. So basically, the automatic activation is, we thought, it did, the first version 1.0, didn't have that feature. And basically, the first version, when you go into your vehicle, you had to remember that you have to activate the bike shield. And honestly, I could remember when I'm on my bicycle, I could remember when I'm on my motorcycle, because it's really important for me, right? But when I'm on my car, even myself, sometimes I used to forget. Like, oh shit, if I forget, imagine someone else, right? And I'm the creator of this thing. So we said, okay, what if we have this feature in which the phone can sense that you're moving faster than walking, and then as you move faster than walking, it means that you are on a vehicle, and then boom, you basically can trigger the app to start by itself. Then that's the automatic activation thing. If you are always in the same vehicle, like most of the people, they normally just use their cars, unfortunately, then you say, okay, remember my last vehicle, or remember my last shield, and then as you move faster than walking, it basically knows that you are in your car, and it activates to your car, and it stays on your background, and you don't even know. It basically will send you signals if it is a motorcycle or a bicycle around you. That's the automatic activation. What happens is that to do that, the solution that we did, and again, MVP, right?
Right.
We had to constantly send GPS signals to the server, high accuracy GPS signals to the server. And basically the server is calculating if you are moving and at what distance and at what speed you're moving. And it's only when you are after 5 or 10 miles per hour, then remember that, oh, okay, you're moving faster than walking, you must be in a vehicle. That consumes the battery. That's the problem. Now, the version 3.0, we still want to keep this. We want to make it very seamless. We want to keep the automatic activation, but to have this same feature without having to consume the battery, or without having to send GPS location data every 5 or 10 seconds, even when you are on your desk, which is why it's draining your battery.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, and I agree with you. To get that functionality is super important because, just like you said, more likely you're on your bike, we're going to activate it. But yeah, people getting in their cars, it's got to be easy for them. to a certain extent.
Yeah, it has to be completely seamless. Like you don't even have to remember. You only want to know when there is a potential harm or potential biker or bicycle when it's happening. You don't have to remember. You don't want to remember. I mean, I do, and you do because you ride motorcycles. We ride motorcycles, but people that don't ride motorcycles, they won't remember. So that feature is very important. We just have to make it better.
Sure. And are you do you have on your team coders, or are you outsourcing all your app development and all that?
We have coders.
Very cool. Well, I'll tell you right now, that is a beautiful app, Pere. That is it is. You guys nailed it on I'm very when I look at things visually, it's just the way I am, and that app is so clean and functional. It does everything you need it to do, but it's super clean and super easy to use. I didn't even need to read any instructions. It was just, this is how you use it. So great job on that, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Ryan. That's awesome.
And I know it's only going to change. Let's talk about what else now, just for the audience. It's on Google Play. You can get it in the Google Play Store. You can also get it for iOS. It has the Shield, of course. It has alerts, both audible and just jump in if I miss something. It has audible alerts. It also has the, pop-ups, notifications. Yeah. Now, a really cool thing that I haven't got to use a whole bunch, and again, as it develops and as it gets more popular, we're going to see this, but it's got user maps on it, right?
Yeah.
And so basically, can you tell me what that means? Is that just so you can see where all the other cyclists are in cars and stuff, or?
Yeah, exactly. So basically, the reason why we want to have the map in there is because you can see in real time who else is using the bike shield, right? So if you are on your bicycle, on your motorcycle, and you want to go from point A to point B, you probably have, 2-3 ways to go from point A to point B in your city, right? Now, if you look at the bike shield in real time, you can see once everyone is using it, right? You will be able, and it works now, but people are not using it yet as much as we'd like to. But let's imagine that people are using it. You can see which of these 3 potential routes, there are more bike shield users. So if you can go, let's say, way number A, you can see a lot of bike shields with a car icon, actually. It means that a lot of cars are using the bike shield, or a lot of cars in that street have the bike shield on. So you may want to use it that way. You may want to use that route because you'll see that you'll have your bike shield on your motorcycle, and the cars, most of the cars on that route have also the bike shield on. That's where you want to go. So it helps you to establish safer routes before you start your ride. On your bicycle, actually, it's the same concept, but for bicyclists, it's been proven that the more bicycles are on the road, the safer it is to ride on a bicycle. That's probably different than motorcycles, but the more bicycles, the safer it is to ride a bicycle. There is tons of research that prove that. So before you start your ride, again, you can look at 2 or 3 different ways to go from point A to point B. Let's look where are more bicycles, because it's gonna be like a train of bicycles. So I'm gonna get in that train and I'm gonna be safer. So everyone will use its own interpretation, but it's basically to establish safer routes. And once we have expansion and we have people using it, we think that's gonna be very useful. The version 2.2, I think it was. We didn't know, but we knew that, but people complained because you could click on that icon. If you see a motorcycle, you could click on that motorcycle icon next to you, and you could see the username of the motorcycle. And we thought that was cool. Yeah, right? It's like, that's cool, because let's say that my girlfriend rides a motorcycle and she's coming home, my wife actually, and she's coming home, and I could track in real time where she is, right? It's like, oh, she's on her way, right? She's in two blocks away, she's coming home. So we thought that was cool. But then people wrote us and said, look, You will have a lot of privacy issues. You don't wanna. I don't wanna show where to everyone that's using the bike shield where I am. We thought that was kind of silly, but it is what it is, and I understand that people is very sensitive about privacy. So we have removed that feature, and you can see who is each icon that you can see on the map. Now you can only see if it's a bicycle or a motorcycle or a car. In the future, we are evaluating if we could add something like, what if I can choose who can see me in the map? Let's say I just want my wife to see me in the map. So I can choose her can see me, so not everyone else, just her, so she can check where I am when I want to, right? Maybe sometimes I don't want her to know where I am, but this is something that we're evaluating, and we don't know we're going to do it. But today we can see the icons, and as I said, the main reason is to establish safer routes.
Absolutely. No, and I like your thoughts there. I really do, as I sit here, because our family and my wife, we use, Apple Find My Friends, and it's all by choice. You accept an invitation. Man, yeah, because you could, obviously now we're, like you say, you're working on it for the safety and all that, but to add social into it, social interaction. I'm like, oh man, that's exciting stuff. Now you've also got, I wasn't familiar about this, trip reports. Can you brief us on that just a little bit? Yeah.
So the trip reports is really, there are a bunch of apps out there that do the same thing. Basically, once you finish your ride, you get a trip report in which it tells you what route did you take, and you can see a Google Map screenshot with the exact route that you've done today, and it tells you the distance, it tells you the average speed, and all that. So there are a lot of apps that do that. The biggest one for cyclists, of course, is Strava with millions of users. But it's more for athletes, right? When they do their bicycle ride for 2 hours, and they can share it with their friends, and they can compete with their friends virtually through their phones and through their app and all that. So we're doing this. The last version, we removed that capability because we were not doing it. We're not doing a good job. It wasn't super accurate, or the formatting, I didn't like the formatting. So I said, what, let's put it in the drawer and we'll take it later. Let's focus on the battery first, and then for next versions we'll do a better job on these trip reports. But the main reason of the trip reports is, imagine if you're a cyclist in which every Sunday you go out, or every day you go out on your bike ride as a trainer, as a workout, you can get an email every time you finish your ride, and that email tells you exactly the distance and the time and the speed and all that. And the same for your motorcycle. You go on motorcycle rides, and let's say, wow, last year, that weekend, we did that amazing route that I don't quite remember how to get there again. Let me see at my file and my folder of trip reports from the bike shield. And you can go, and it's organized by the day, it's obvious, and you can take that weekend and you can say, here you go. This is the ride we did. And you know what? I'm going to share that with you. So I'm going to forward that email to you. So this is the ride we did. We suggest you to do that ride again, right? So that's a trip report thing. Nothing new. There are a few apps that are doing it, but we thought that it could be a nice add-on to the bike shield,
Absolutely, yeah. I definitely see functionality for that. That would be awesome to have. All right, so let's. I do have this question, which I know a lot of people are going to have, and I think we talked a bit about it on the podcast. So you're in a big city. We're up and running. It's a year from now, 2 years from now, and this thing's widely accepted and utilized. And I'm driving in Los Angeles, and there's bikes on every 10 feet apart. You get a lot of people are saying, well, it's going to alert every 2 seconds. And so I know you guys have thought of that. Is that something you can answer now, or is that in the works, or what do you have to say on that?
I can answer, absolutely.
Awesome.
And I can answer because it's in the works. So the new version that we're working on, So you're absolutely right that we don't want to overwhelm the car driver. That could be a disaster. It could be a good problem to have because that means that there is a massive usage, right? But at the same time, we don't want this to happen. So it's kind of a good problem to have, but still it's a problem. So we're tackling it, and there are two different ways that we're tackling it. One is we are developing what it's called predictive algorithms, in which we can predict if the two vehicles, the motorcycle and the car, will coincide, will intersect at some point in space and time.
Wow.
And we will only send a warning to the car driver if these two vehicles will intersect at some point in space and time. Because as it is right now, it's just a dumb distance in which, okay, you are in this circle of that radius, which is my distance, but it still sends a warning if the two vehicles are going in the opposite directions. We don't want to do that, right? Why should we send a warning to the car driver if they're going in different directions? They will never intersect, and there's no risk at all that they will crash into each other. So the new versions will have these predictive algorithms, and that's gonna solve part of it. Still not all of it, but a big bunch. So that's one of the solutions that we're implementing. The other solution is that when you have like a peloton of bicycles coming next to you, and we can define this, what's a peloton, what's the relative distance between bikers or between cyclists, we can group this, and instead of sending 20 warnings to the car driver, even if all the peloton has the bike shield on, we'll send only one. And it may be a special signal, right? It's like not just a normal signal, but can be a special signal that it's a peloton of motorcycles coming behind you. So be careful, right? So this is not the versions that we have right now. It's not there yet, but we are working really hard on that.
That's awesome. So definitely the way I see it, doable. No problem. It's just going to take a little bit of time and information gathering from you guys to nail that algorithm down, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Man, that's exciting. That's super exciting.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Now you guys did, and I'm super glad because I wasn't sure, obviously talking to you here, it's a passion project and your heart's in it, because you had an Indiegogo campaign that didn't quite get the amount of funding you wanted. And I was like, oh man, I hope that doesn't mean that they're going to give up on such a awesome thing. Can you talk about the Indiegogo campaign and anything you're doing? I mean, it's really important to me that our community, obviously this is heard worldwide in 135 plus countries. What can our community do or go to help you in any way we can to see this thing through?
Well, I really appreciate that, Ryan. That's amazing that you're saying that. The Indiegogo campaign was somehow a disappointment. We did almost $10,000. The goal was $25,000. I think what happened in there is that we didn't do enough of a good job to promote the campaign before the campaign. And we've been reading about this. This is new for us. We've never done that before. And apparently, and you learn sometimes too late, right? Apparently there is like 6 months, they say 6 months before you launch the campaign that you have to be there, like doing what we're doing right now, talking about it, getting a community, getting a base of users already, inform them, getting them engaged. And honestly, we didn't have the resources to do it, and we didn't have enough people to do it. We're all focused on let's make the best app we can, right? And yes, we did some of it, and we got a PR firm for a month before the campaign. They were trying to get us out there, and we got really good coverage. We got the Fast Company, we got SF Weekly, we got in ABC 7 News. We got out of that, but you need more. You need time. You need more. So we didn't do enough job, but that's fine. Everything helps. To be honest with you, $10,000, if you're frugal and you're not desperate about money, which we're not, because as I said, this is a passion project and we just keep going, can get you far. So we're gonna keep going. Now, in the future we may have to do another campaign, Kickstarter or Indiegogo, and I'm telling you, this time we'll do it right. We'll start early. We already have a solid base of users and community that's listening to us and getting the emails, and we're not giving up, that's for sure. Now, in terms of the community and the audience, what can do to help? Obviously, use the app and try it and send us comments. I love when people send me an email and say, hey, you should look at this, or you should change this, or my app doesn't work, or it's crashing my phone. I answer all of them, and I'm getting a lot, because it means that people are engaged and shows me that people want to do it. So I like people to use it and to talk about it, and also to share it, right? Not to share it only with their biker fellows, but to people that drive cars and they don't drive bicycles. I'm sure that we all have people that they actually don't like bicycles, and they tell you, why are you crazy? You're going to kill yourself. Everyone tells me that. It's like, wait a minute, use the bike shield, So it is a mouth-to-mouth thing, I'm sure, and we have to start like this. And then we'll get into the cars, we'll get into the insurance companies, and then we'll get into the infotainment systems. If we show that we want this, right? It's a free app. I mean, it's not that we're pay people $1 or $2. Now, if people want to help us out and donate something, by no means, that's more than welcome too. I think we have in the website, it says a PayPal account that says donate at Bike Shield or donate TDG Company, and that goes to our PayPal account. Some people has donated, and thanks so much. But most importantly is use the Bike Shield and talk about the Bike Shield, and please just send us comments, right? Just tell us what you want, tell us how you could think that could get better and more useful.
And real quick, I will tell you that the email address, because I was on it, is donate@tdgcompany.com. That's your company, right? TDG?
Yes.
Okay. And also, they can get hooked up, and I did, on your email list, right from your website. And so basically I get updates of what you guys are doing. So that's a good way, guys, to just go to the website. It's the bikeshieldapp.com, and there's email, a little list you can sign up for, and all the information that we're talking about.
That's right.
Now,
That's right.
Word of mouth marketing, that's huge. You're absolutely right. With all the social media, we find a lot of word of mouth marketing is still the most powerful. And I think it always will be.
Yeah, I agree. Especially within a community like bikers and cyclists, right? I love. I know that bikers, we're all, we think we're tough, and then, like bikers and all that. You have us call here, which is really cool, and all this. But which is awesome is when I'm on my motorcycle and I'm on a traffic light and there is another motorcycle, there is this courtesy, you move you just say hi, right? Like, hey, how are you doing? And you don't know that guy, but we are both in a motorcycle. So you know that you're both taking the chance. You know how dangerous it is to be in LA on a motorcycle on rush hour, because there are a bunch of car drivers that are completely tired of driving and they're not paying attention. But you take the chance and you're there for, and you feel this community, you feel part of the community. And I love this. That's one of my favorite things of riding in LA. Besides the traffic that sucks, this relation and this courtesy that you have with other biker fellows is really cool.
It is. You nailed it. Because, where do you see that? You don't see that with cars or truck drivers or...
No way.
There's something about being on two wheels, and we all get it. And you get the courtesy wave or the head nod. It's just, there's something there. And I'll tell you, doing this podcast and worldwide, meeting awesome bikers like yourself and people doing amazing things and coming together as a community, it's a daily, it amazes me daily. And you nailed it with that. You nailed it with that for sure.
It was, sorry to interrupt, but I got without gasoline not that long ago in the middle of the highway. I had to call AAA, right? The service car that comes and gasoline. But between the time I called and they came, I think it was like 6 people stop on their cars and motorcycles, and everyone's like, dude, I'm a biker too. What do you need? What happened? People that were on their cars like, I also ride motorcycles. What do you need? And I'm like, oh man, I'm sorry. I mean, thank you so much.
Yeah.
That's fine. They're coming right now. Okay, do you want me to track you somewhere? I'm like, no, thanks, man. It's all good. And, I've been stopped on my car. No one has stopped,
Right. Yeah, totally. No, you got it. You won't be aside the road long on a bike. The next biker or like you say, somebody that rides a car or bike is in a car will stop by.
Yep.
That's awesome, man. What else? Anything else that you think is super important you want the community to know about the Bike Shield app and all that?
Well, just, bear with us, stay patient. It's not a perfect system, but we're getting there and we'll get there. And we're doing it from, the bottom of our hearts, and there's it's all about getting safe and safe lives, and be patient, just follow us and stay with us. And as I said, if you can share it and you can use it and send us comments, that's all we ask for right now.
Awesome. And I'll just tell you, Pere, and we talked a little bit, you seriously, as you go forward with this thing, I genuinely tell you have a platform here. And if you want to get a hold of me and there's updates that you think the motorcycle community needs to know, you've got all my contact information. Please, we'll get you back on and we'll do another interview with whatever, even if it's short, with whatever updates that you want people that you think is really important. Because I know our community is going to follow this. We're going to stay on top of it.
Perfect, man. Thank you so much. I will take your word for sure. I mean, of course, I have your contact, and as soon as we have the new version out, I'll let you know. As soon as we nail one of these agreements with taxi companies, that I'm gonna let you know as well, because someone may be riding in a city that there are a lot of this company, there are a lot of taxis from these taxi companies or bus drivers. So we'll give you all the updates, so all the community can learn about it.
Awesome. Thanks, man, and have an awesome day.
Thanks. You
all
too,
right.
Ryan.
Oh yeah, guys. Oh yeah, I'm so stoked. Was that interview badass or what? Man, I love talking to bikers all over the world. He's down in LA right now, just learning about people and what other people are doing, and how, the motorcycle community, we talked about it there a little bit about, we wave at each other, we're close, it's a community, it's a biker revolution, guys. I absolutely love it. And so we can help support each other. And I'm stoked about this app, really, guys. After talking to him, man, it really answered any questions I had. And, word of mouth marketing, guys, see if you can start using it and stuff. Hit him up if you have suggestions. He's the real deal, man. It's a passion project. You guys can tell that from listening to him. So he's doing this, right now. He's got a lot of time and money dumped into this thing. So let's help him where we can. If you like, don't forget, guys, we have the app, the official app. It's free to you. Of course, it's supported by patrons, and they're the reasons you guys get it for free. And you can get our app on the Apple Store, Google Play, Android App Store, Amazon Kindle, all that good stuff. You can get it all at one page, lawabidingbiker.com/app. There's links to get it for your smartphone. We've got the show notes in there. You can call us right from the app. You get everything a little bit early. It's just a great user experience, and right there at your fingertips. Isn't technology great? All right, guys, don't forget Law Abiding Biker hotline phone number 509-731-3548, or an internet voicemail anywhere in the world for free, lawabidingbiker.com/voicemail. Of course, our general contact or email page, lawabidingbiker.com/contact. There's no reason you guys shouldn't be getting a hold of us. Get involved. Get in that free email club, guys, so you know when we come out with new videos and such. lawabidingbiker.com/email club. Don't forget, rate us on iTunes or Stitcher Radio, lawabidingbiker.com/iTunes or /Stitcher Radio. What does that do, guys? It helps us bump up in the rankings so bikers all over the world have a better chance than finding us, and they can join the biker revolution. Let's join together, guys. Do what you can. We appreciate all the support. That's right, guys. You should be riding. If you're not riding, you should be thinking about riding. If you're not thinking about riding, that's what we're here for, to help with, guys. All right. God bless each and every one of you, and we're going strong here, guys. Peace out. Keep the rubber side down and the shiny side up.